Hello, hello. Thank you so much. So I have just 30 minutes. Um, the presentation starting with the death sentences because these sentences exactly describing our vision. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysteries. It is source all of true art and all science. Albert Einstein said that. It's a famous quote. So we are award-winning creative new media studio. We already won Red Dot Design Award, ADC Award, German Design Award, International Design Award, Asia Design Award from Los Angeles, New York, Germany, Seoul, and all that awards are so prestigious actually. It's the proof of the unique and the good design artworks. So we have done work on almost every continent. We already created more than 65 or 70 art pieces around the world for 70 cities and countries. Basically, we are interested in new media. It means we try and integrate art, science, and technology inside of the public spaces. Our main office in Istanbul, but we have partnerships like Berlin, Vienna, Los Angeles, Barcelona. This is not a one-man show, by the way. The team consists of very talented, from AI artists, engineers, academicians, coders, new media artists, designers, and all that people seeing one vision for making Qubit public art. It's more than 45 people working as an in-house team in Istanbul. We collaborated with the different type of the huge, respectful scientific places, institutes, brands, and governments. For example, we collaborate with the CERN, NASA, SAT Montreal, Art Science Museum Singapore, Mori Museum Tokyo, or one of the biggest festival in the world, Coachella, Signal Light Festival, Melbourne White Night Festival, Barcelona Light Festival, and also brands like a Ferrari, Mercedes, Bulgari, Nike, who is interested in the new media field. We are using the high-level technology. We already used every type of the technology in the world, AR, VR, XR, projectors, LED. And our expertise point is the creating data sculptures and data paintings in public art. But we are not making the data visualization. And we are using the AI also last 6 years around. Last 14 years, we always try to integrate the data inside of our creative pipeline. And also, we collaborate with the governments like the Beijing government or Dubai government or the Abu Dhabi for making the permanent art pieces. For example, this one is the climate change data sculpture permanent in Beijing city. Yes, we are using the high-level technology, but we are not technology-based studio. We are idea-based. So it means the idea always comes first, and we try making happen that idea according to the project. But according to the exist technology, generally we have to hack the technology for making happen to that unique idea. As you see, for interior or exterior or surface of the buildings or custom design data sculptures, we created different type of the scale from the micro and macro scale public arts, which is you can experience with your naked eyes. And this is a kind of the hybrid, the multisensory experiences in publicly as an immersive experience. "14 years." Yes, Thank you. So I would like to give to I will try to do a kind of the balance between the formal information and the so personal information during the presentation. 14 years ago, I graduated to Istanbul Bilgi University. This is the central Istanbul, one of the biggest campus in the Istanbul. And the education was amazing. I mean, diversity also is amazing. we had a chance to work with the different type of the institutes simultaneously in the same habitat, like engineers, the architects. And yes, during to do that education, we really fun, and then we created too many art pieces in that campus. But for the each creation coming from of course, our heroes. For example, İhsan Derman, Esen Korol, and Orhan Cemçetin, our professors. And our education was amazing. We could learn the typography, the coding, web design, poster design, or the graphic design, and also art, coding. Even we could design our own Arduinos. So that's why that knowledge coming from that education. And also some of the biggest artists that I would like to give today a couple of examples. For example, Lauren, 1995, the early data sculptures. We are talking about approximately more than 29 years there around. And one of my favorite, it's amazing artist, Natalie. So the Natalie using to the environmental data for create literally sculptures, handmade sculptures. And also she is academician, you should check it. So for the last 14 years, we try and understand what does it mean to be an artist in the 21st century with the AI and technology. That's one of the biggest questions for us, actually. So that's why the last 14 years, we are using the data as a paint and algorithm as a brush. So it means we have a same mindset like 500 years ago painters, like Van Gogh, Leonardo, but our tools are very different right now with the technology and algorithms. But we always keeping to that same mindset, that behavior. For example, we could transform to one of the tallest building as a canvas, as an AI canvas. And this is the Guinness World Record. This is the first time the one artist features 12 times on the Burj Khalifa. So we had a chance to collect data from the Dubai city data and to create the real-time generated AI art piece publicly. So it is important for us to make you feel the feelings that one cannot feel in your daily life. And our main inspiration comes always from physics, geology, science, and geological environment and nature. This inspiration shapes our art principles. And then from the micro and macro scale, we started to apply that knowledge to design across the disciplines, new media art and canvases. So every feelings we want to experience created our own art style, and we're trying to do touching to your soul. During the entire presentation, you will see the more than 100 different data sets as an art piece. Sometimes the data we use from underground, from space, from brain waves. So from the micro and macro universes, we had a chance to observe and transform as an art piece from the micro and macro scale as an immersive experiences. So this one is coming from the underground, one of my dream, the Petra. I don't know, have you been there? It is so cinematic place, and it's amazing, monumental installation. So we created AI Whispers of Ancients. This is a kind of the data sculpture using to the entire Petra legacy. We had a chance to collect data from their history with the different type of the fields, like architects, designs, arts, sculptures. And every data we fit the AI, and we could get the different type of the outputs. But I would like to tell you, we are not using the raw AI outputs, or we are not putting the raw outputs to the wall. We always trying to create a kind of the storytelling between us and algorithm. So it means that this is a so experiential process for the different mediums. And this this is a poetic and a kind of the scientific journey and storytelling. Especially for this artwork, name of the artwork, statement of the artwork, sound of the artwork, and content of the artwork, we made the collaboration with the different type of the AI algorithms. Some of them open source, some of them created by us, made by Python coding. But you know, when you create something like this, you can keep your position as an artist, the putting to the raw data visualizations, right? But the important point is the AI is not tool. Actually, AI as a collaborator. And this is an interesting ping-pong process between us and AI. For example, according to the data, when we feed the AI, when we get the raw output from the AI, we starting redesign using to do that output. Then after that, we are feeding AI again with our creation, and we are getting the new outputs. And between the fields, there's a playground. Sometimes we transform the sounds to the visual. Sometimes we transform the visuals to the sound. So it means you can also create a journey between the different fields during the creative process. And so this is the So Fresh project. We had a chance to work with the Grand Egyptian Museum, and it has been approximately more than 3.5 years around project. And we created the language of the gods. This is the world's first archaeological database powered by a large language model. So as you know, the design is solving problems, but the art making the problems. But at the same time, maybe art can solve some problems. So during that creative process, we focus on how we can create something with the AI, and also it might be useful for the scientists. So that's why this is the first time using the archaeological data set, create the art piece and tools for the architects. Let me explain much more deeply. So imagine that you are the archaeologist and you find some of the tablets and you cannot read some part of it. And according to our language model, that language AI can fill it and then can prepare to the new information from that exist information. And also the AI can merge the 1,000 years data and can find secret relationships between the information and can suggest the new outputs. So it's so useful same time and living architectural installation. So by the way, I am so obsessive about the mythology of the Egyptian. My son's name is Ra. You can imagine my obsessive behavior about that. So this 2 weeks ago, we announced that project in the Grand Egyptian Museum, and then end of this year, we will share publicly with the scientists, and they can use it as a tool during their research. Thank you. Entire story starting, too many people ask to us, what's the inspiration? What's your inspiration as an artist? And always we are getting inspiration from the science, sometimes scientific paper. For example, this one is the amazing inspiration. You should check it, definitely. So Alan Turing published one scientific paper. And according to that paper, the first sentences was, can machine think? So it was so inspiring question for us. I solved the paper approximately more than 10 years ago or something like that. And we ask the same question with the different senses. Since that time, can machine listen, can machine learn, can machine create? And keep in mind that we're starting to making research before the entire that open source AI algorithm, before the ChatGPT, before the open source algorithms. So if we come back to the 2018, it's always, we are starting to with the question for any project in our studio. So for that project, can we create super scientist consciousness by using machine learning and AI algorithms? It was 6 years ago or something like that. So we received an invitation from the Atelier des Lumières. That was the first digital museum in Paris. And we created one of the biggest AI exhibition in Paris. We used the 146 projectors, 50,000 pixel rendering, and also 3,500 square meter. So according to that space, by the way, wait a minute. I would like to. So this is one giant hall, and they renovated that 3,500 square meter old fabrics. And according to that project, we collected data from the famous scientists book like Einstein, Hawking, Galileo, who is changed the destiny of the world, right? And then we created our own the data archived from that scientific papers and books. And our AI algorithm reading to that 20 million lines books and rendering new words and starting writing their own book. But again, keep in mind, there is no ChatGPT, there is no open source algorithm. So we use the Python coding for that. Can you imagine? There's the Istanbul, the one studio in the dark. So we put to the entire data set with the algorithm, and we had to wait approximately 2 weeks around for getting to the AI outputs. When we received that first outputs from the AI, it was so cinematic moment for us. And suddenly, by the way, we became the famous in Paris after the exhibition. We featured on news and newspapers. And approximately 1 million people bought tickets in 9 months, which is huge capital. Company made more than 40 million euro around, with the 10 million euro around investment. Then after that, we received the invitation from the TEDx CERN, one of the respectful gathering, and we had a chance, we made the live stream the entire art piece. But in the beginning, that was the so humble idea in our studio. And just the 45 people tried to make it happen. And what's next? The poetic AI. Then after that, we received the invitation from the Paramount Pictures, the Mission Impossible. So that was a very interesting offer from the Tom Cruise. They wanted to put the entire poetic AI inside of the movie. I don't know if you have a chance to check the latest version in Mission Impossible. I had a chance to work with the Tom Cruise like 3 weeks around in London. We built a kind of the immersive bar, and we put our poetic AI in front of the walls as an immersive experience. And the Tom Cruise fought the front of our art piece. So this is in the beginning idea just was the dream, and the dream right now, the millions and millions of people in theaters experience our art piece. It was interesting also the challenge for us working with one of the biggest studios from the Los Angeles, like 2 months around, but we don't have any idea what's the purpose of the art piece. I mean, what's the purpose of the usage? And when we went to cinema, we realized that our art piece is not just a decorative background, also part of the story. And there is a bad guy, AI bad guy, and then they use as a character for it. Maybe you would like to learn also what's the commercial mirror of that kind of the installations. So it might be a very good example when in the beginning, we just started to make our own obsessive decision and design it publicly. But after that, when we put online, there are too many brands connected with us for buying. For example, this one is for the Audi. The last year, we used the 70,000 people behavior in real time for creating the living architecture installation instead of the Audi. And we created an NFT collection with them. The same people during the event, that same guy can be observer, visitor, can be also artist with their own data, and also can buy as a collector. It was very interesting, the opportunity for the 7,000 people, and then it sold out less than 15 seconds from 5,000 collectors, and we made 800,000 euro around, and we founded the Ukrainian refugees with the entire money. It was one of the meaningful, the NFT project. But it's another interesting data. We put a kind of the special cameras at the stand, and we could track the people's eyes during the event. And we can count how many people looks the car and how many people looks the art piece. End of the 3 days, it was a very interesting number. Just 5,000 people looked the car, and more than 35,000 people looked the art piece. So it means the art always can change your marketing messages, and it increase your marketing messages. And also we received the same invitation from the Mercedes, and we used the Mercedes car data for creating the data sculptures in publicly. So I will jump to the fastly that commercial projects. And then also we created the AI maze, and more than 200,000 people experience that real-time generated AI maze. And we created 1,110 square meter around the art piece. Finally, we can come back to the much more our planet problems. Right now, we're trying to transform to unseen to seen. And this data coming from the nature. According to that visualization, we collect data from the climate change data from the Beijing city. And it became the permanent monumental poetic art installation. Another one is an immersive experience with the Atlas Ocean data. But one of the biggest, how we can use the city on, and then how we can change the city as an artist. So that's the one of the interesting project, because of the Singapore interesting city. They really care about the carbon emission. And according to that city, that's so sustainable with every way. So we try to create the Mother Earth. But Mother Earth is not just an installation, but also a data-driven mirror of the city. It's in habitats that is created using data to paint various aspects of Singapore city. Different sets of environmental data such as air quality, carbon emission, climate change, diversity of the people, population of the people, wind, and last 40 years data. Of course, also it is not easy to find that kind of the data sets. We are using the different type of the sources. Some of them coming from the NASA satellites. More than 20 satellites we can get the data in real time. Some of them we could buy from the special companies. So it was 1 month around installation. By the way, we always sharing our entire know-how and data journey on the online. So if you are a nerdy guy, you can understand what kind of softwares and algorithms we are using as an open source. and then another universe, macrospace. This is the CERN, the one of the biggest, the particle collide scientific place. They're trying to understand the universe with the experiential techniques. And we had a chance to work with the world's best 16 machine learning professors during the creative process. We had a chance to get to two subatomic particle collides moments and transform it as an experience. So it was the huge challenge working with that so serious scientists. During every conversation on the Zoom, according to my expectation, getting to some old guys. But it was not like this. They are approximately 25 years old young guys as a professor, machine learning professor from NYU, MIT, Harvard. And this is a huge chance as an artist working with that real scientist. It was the interesting project. We had a chance to create a kind of the quantum physics installation with them. And the TEDx CERN, they use same installation. So we created the AWA. This is 360 experience. And we already built that installation around the world. For example, this one is the White Night Melbourne. More than 600,000 people experience in just one night. But when we create that kind of new media art pieces, it became alive with the different experiences. Some of them, it might be the exterior data sculptures. Some of them, it might be like these immersive experience. This one is the Australia, by the way. So new media art was become by the intercommunion of art and the science from its very beginnings. Digital technologies extremely allow us to develop immersive experiences and new alternative worlds. As in visual art and the rise of visual art, which ensures the audience with freedom of creative opportunity. And so this situation becomes developing the new media art day after day. Of course, we used also one of the biggest creatives and painters, like a Van Gogh. Right now, we are seeing the AI Van Gogh. We created that art piece 5 years ago. And also the different type of the living architectural paints from the Van Gogh. And we had a chance to build our own museum in Istanbul. We created the X Media Art Museum in Istanbul. So if you have a chance to come into Istanbul, let me know. I would like to show our new museum. And also AI Leonardo. The Leonardo is one of the interesting artists. Also, he was scientist, so that was the huge, interesting, the data archive from the Leonardo.
Holy cow, that was an experience. Anywhere you look, just filled with sound and light, and it just, blew me away.
We loved it. We had a great time, didn't we? Really loved the colours and kind of like the immersive nature of just being in there. It was really, really captivating.
Absolutely fabulous. I enjoyed every minute of it. It stirred my emotions, and now I want to see more.
We didn't know what to expect, but we're just here visiting, saw that it was on, so we thought we'd come and check it out. It's amazing.
I think it's just about being in the moment and allowing the art and everything to flow over you and just be present with it.
This is not 2D, this is fully immersive. I don't know what D that is, but it's fully immersive.
You feel like you're part of the artwork and it just...
Yeah, maybe next time Tiflis. Why not? Thank you. And I would like to give much more information about the process. So right now we are seeing the entire Renaissance paints from the 342 artists and more than 20,000 paints as a data archive. And AI trying to create a kind of the latent spaces from that 20,000 paints. It means the AI trying to understand each pixel and color spectrum and trying to create the new data sculptures from that data archives. Then after that, we are getting to that kind of the outputs. And that output became art installation. Exactly same behavior with the Dali. The Dali, right now it is in the Barcelona, IDL. We had a chance to work with the Dali Museum to create the immersive experience and AI Dali version of it. It was the tour in the Europe. Maybe you can catch, for example, this one is the Lisboa. Let's jump, the brain. That was one of our crazy idea. Can we observe the musician feelings in real time during their performance? So it means we are putting the very special device head of the musician brain. And according to that device, at the concert, we visualize the changes in brainwaves activities in real time. We transform the data. We transform the data, alpha, beta, gamma, and it represents attention, tension, meditation, also creativity and imagination. And entire neural mechanism transform as data paintings in real time on the stage like this. So we called the sparse strings for that project. And according to the project, the question was, what if the matter is nothing but notes coming out of the vibrating strings? So according to the sparse strings theory, all matter in the world is made up one thing, vibration, but the infinite vibrations, like a music. So it's perfectly magic for making the music and then DNA of the universe, and also the brain, of course. That was 6 years ago in our Electronica Festival in Linz. Then after that, we received the invitation from the Bulgaria for create the same installation front of the Pantheon. Again, it's so humble idea, it's so internal project, and always became the huge project with the huge brands. So my suggestion is, don't work for money, just work for yourself. And if it's a very good idea, definitely money come naturally to you. So for this project, we collaborate with the academician from the Rome, and there is a conductor. Entire Pantheon building responds according to the conductor brainwaves. And that was the real time, 20 minutes around experience. This is, I think, one of the so personal project for me. I am always thinking about what does it mean to be an artist. So being an artist means adopting a concern as one's own and pursuing it obsessively. So in creating art, sincere ideas come before technology, especially for this project. We created RA, Atlas of the Unknown Story. So we have a baby, and he born in Los Angeles approximately 4 years ago. That was the baby in womb. So that was the heartbeat data from him. And also, we recorded his brain waves like a 36 channel around during the 2 years old. And you know, it's so personal to be a father. And during the entire process, we have a huge concern because he couldn't start to talk because of the pandemic baby. As you know, the pandemic babies, they couldn't touch the similar ages. So that's why there is approximately, for example, in Istanbul, approximately 3 million children cannot speak right now. It's huge. But at the same time, we had a huge concern. What if he has something brain damage or something? So, but we already checked everything. But that was the so annoying process for us as a family. But at the same time, we decided to create a kind of the game for him. So this is the world's first AI data painting game experience. We collected data from the heartbeats before the burn and also the brainwaves and everything. There is a child, and he's the Ra, and the Ra is the main character for the entire game. There's 5 different universes made by us, and there's our 14 years retrospective installation inside of that universes. And according to the Ra, can experience our entire that data archives and art pieces with the multiple universes. And at the same time, end of the game, Ra can discover the own data, own brainwaves, and can hang in around inside of the own brainwaves art piece, as an art piece, by the way, as a game. So we publish it right now in Istanbul. Thank you. So this piece presents an intertwined experience of data, art, and technology, opening new emotional and intellectual horizons for us. And latest project. This is so special for you guys. Also, you can experience in your city right now after this section. Approximately 3 years ago around, that was the long-term collaboration with the CERN. And they invited us for the new art piece. According to that project, our main aim is, can we create an artistic self-portrait of humanity with AI? So we called the Human Cell Atlas because there's a project, they already exist. It's 2016, more than 2,000 institutes become together for just one aim. Their aim is making data map, one of the biggest data archived about the human body. And they collected more than 32 trillion cells, human cells, and they published. And they shared with the humanity. So the scientists can make the research and they can find the cure, maybe some of the exist ills.
Created by the creatives at Studio Ouch. And what they did is they took data from the Human Cell Atlas. You're going to hear about it later in the event, especially RNA sequencing data. They fed it into a machine learning system gave some instructions, and that's what came out. An attempt at describing visually some of
So it was huge data archive for us.
fitting because
And then we had to fight, we had to face the optimizing entire the trillions and trillions data with the AI. And also, AI can give us the interesting opportunity, create the much more than dimensional data from the exist dimensions. And for using the every cells of human body, it's becoming art piece. When you understand to the microspace with the data, and if you can integrate to the different type of the AI algorithm, that algorithm can give to you different type of the visualization, and you can understand how machines see us according to their algorithm. And our artistic odyssey involved tapping into the single cell RNA sequence data. We navigated through a myriad of the process and pre-processing, normalization, and unveiling the enigmas of a 100-dimensional data set. We used the autoencoders, PCA analyzers, and TSIN algorithms for making the arts. So you can understand the science meets art, painting a story of the human potential. And we received the invitation from the SpaceX. The Human Cell Atlas, we had a chance exhibit the entrance of the Space Kennedy Center. They invited us for the first digital museum in space, actually. So entire Human Cell Atlas project, actually, we recorded the very special CD room in New York with the nanotechnology. Then after that, we put that CD room surface on that rocket. More than 6 weeks ago, it went to the moon from the Space Kennedy Center. So that was the first time after the 1972 first moon landing. This is the second one, and this is the first commercial project in the space industry. So basically the process, the entire art piece recorded to that disk with the nanotechnology. There is only way if you want to see it under the microscope. Then after that, we put to that art piece exactly here. And we were there. It was the so emotional moment for us because it looks like the slow motion moment when the rocket launched. And you can see the 1972, this is the first, and this is our landing after the more than 50 years. And you can experience in your city right now, tonight. And this is the landing.
Yeah! Oh, that's great. Oh, yeah! Woohoo! Yeah! Oh, that's great. Oh, yeah! Woohoo!
See you.